Do you like seeing harem? You know, one guy gets all the chicks, or even vice versa. The chick gets all the guys. And no, they don't share. Well, sometimes. They don't share. They refuse to share. They want it all for themselves. Do you like seeing that? Well, maybe this manga then is for you. In the first one, we have a school mostly with female students. In fact, the ratio between males and females is about 1 to 9. In here, all of the female music club members basically use the only guy in the club almost like a slave. Kinoshita, the guy, was simply changing uniforms until basically the remaining club members storm into the changing room because, I don't know, maybe they forgot that the room they were entering was now the guys' locker room? Whatever the case, all girls become really curious and basically strip Kinoshita down. And yes, then they decide to do him one by one, starting with probably the main girl of this part named Sophia. Once Sophia was done, the rest of the girls really go at him and of course he enjoys the hell out of it. I mean, who wouldn't? And we are not talking about 2 or 3 chicks, we are talking about a whole class of about 15 or something. So if you are a guy, imagine having 15 chicks be all over you. Kinoshita may be living one of your dreams. Still, all club members were not present. One of them was sick that very Action Jackson day. The chick that was sick is Megumi. When Megumi comes back, she sees something that is not very pleasing for her. But that's mostly because that very Action Jackson day, she wasn't present. But Sophia and another chick called Chihaya certainly do their job and resolve the issue Megumi had with the whole club when she comes back. And yes, it involves Kinoshita, of course, since he is to be shared as a toy among all female students. So, Sophia, that continues to be in the spotlight until the end, together with Chihaya, Megumi was also put in the spotlight in part 2. But now it's Yaguruma's and Kinjo's turn. While Sophia and Chihaya share the hot chick factor and Megumi has her innocent Megane factor, Kinjo has the slightly tomboyish factor to her, with the smallest breasts of the whole group, while Yaguruma is probably the smallest chick of the group when it comes to height, but still has the biggest melons. Well, at least for her size. At this point, Kinoshita easily becomes the rapist. At an amusement park, Yaguruma wanted to ride the roller coaster, but since she is too small, she had to sit it out while Kinoshita rode it with Kinjo, who appeared later on. While Kinjo was having her fun, some schoolboys stared at Yaguruma admiring her breasts because, once again, they are big for her short height. Later, they go to a Ferris wheel. Kinoshita, Kinjo, and Yaguruma share one wagon, while all the other schoolboys that were staring at Yaguruma earlier shared the next one. Yaguruma at that point should have stayed quiet, because once she told Kinoshita what happened downstairs, he rapes her, giving the schoolboys every chance to witness it. That was some weird adventure. But it's not over yet, because now Chihaya becomes the main attraction. Chihaya is a former club manager and that role now has Yaguruma. So yes, time passed a bit ever since Kinoshita raped Yaguruma on the Ferris wheel. Sophia and Kinjo are now pregnant. Wonderful! Oh, but don't worry, they still have lots of fun in this chapter. Well, at least Kinjo does. Here a new dude enters the scene named Takigawa, and he immediately has a confrontation with Chihaya, and that quickly turns into Takigawa basically hating Kinoshita. Later, Chihaya wants to prepare Takigawa for Kinoshita. In what way? She thought he was gay. Even weirder, Kinoshita seemed open to do Takigawa. From the back, you know what I mean. So, is Kinoshita actually bisexual? Lucky Takigawa, it turned out that he isn't gay. He was just jealous of Kinoshita having so much fun with everybody. Oh, but don't worry, Chihaya turns him into a real man, and this is the first time we have an actual threesome. Well, up until this point a threesome wasn't possible since Kinoshita was the only man in the group, but now with Takigawa on board, threesomes are the norm. But actually this arc ends here. Kinoshita and Takigawa do everybody. All chicks are horny as hell. The class of Sophia graduates at some point together with Kinoshita, but Takigawa continues the legacy with a new class full of chicks, which is actually pretty awesome. Now we move on and enter new realms. Miu is a girl that has something very interesting and special inside her. Something that a boy called Sosuke told her to wear until they meet again. But where did Sosuke get that kind of idea in the first place? Well, from Miu's friend, Yuki. She taught him a thing or two. But don't worry, Miu enjoyed the hell out of everything and the nurse's room at school turns into a very sexy place. Another single chapter story. This time a girl called Anna is basically pressured by her female classmates to tell who she likes. Pointing out that she and the dude called Hiragi are hanging out a lot together, her classmates conclude that she likes him. But they still ask Anna to be sure. Anna herself doesn't like when he tries to do a certain thing to her, and at that point, while she's still talking to her classmates, he comes in misinterpreting what she said. After she explains him what's what, they then do it in the school's bathroom, and it all ends with what Hiragi wanted to do to her this whole time. So, even though she didn't like it, that was Anna's way to apologize? And now the last story, with 3 chapters total. If you like Chikan, you will have it here. A girl named Tomoka has to go to school by train every single day. But there are also 3 dudes that enter the same train and enjoy the hell out of her. No, they don't go all the way, but they touch her all over. Well, she actually enjoys the hell out of it, so she always looks forward to see the 3 men again and again. The 3 men are an old fart called Tachibana, a middle-aged man called Ogawa, and a young dude called Makoto. But one day they did not ride the train. Not even the day after that. So what happened? Well, after the backstory on how the 3 men even started having fun with Tomoka on a train, and after some dude rapes the hell out of her, not shy in exposing everything, we get the reason why all 3 left her alone. But by the way, the dude that raped Tomoka really wasn't shy in showing her goods to everybody else in the train. But funny enough, what does everybody else actually do? Do they actually help Tomoka and protect her from the rapist? You wish. Instead, they pull their phones out and start taking pictures. What the hell? So a train full of people see Tomoka get raped, and literally nobody helps her, but instead everybody takes pictures? Holy shit, man! But heck, in the last part we get an explanation for why the 3 men left Tomoka alone, but ultimately it doesn't even matter, because what Tomoka experienced, the rape, was really arousing for her. So she loved it! And what happens from here on out? Easy. Tomoka and the 3 men start going all the way and stop molesting her in the train. Instead, they start protecting her. Weird logic, actually. Overall, this whole manga uses weird logic, but I guess that's the point. Especially the last story is the weirdest one. I cannot remember a hentai or a hentai manga where I've seen something like this. But my guess is what happens in the last chapter, especially the part with the phones, is the artist's way of criticizing society, and for that, yeah, it actually worked well. Because I mean, a girl gets raped and everybody takes photos instead of helping. What the fuck? You know, because the first thing people do nowadays, when they witness something, they take photos of it. That really isn't far off from reality. Whatever. For what it is, Harem x Harem was fine, but not fully my cup of tea. Mostly because the chicks are too young, or at least seem too young for my taste. Well, actually not all of them, like Chihaya and Sofia, but the rest clearly. But hey, if you enjoy the hell out of stuff like this, then go for it. There are chicks with the smallest breast size up to other chicks with a good breast size. And no, there is no breast size too big. Basically, they have a natural size to them, which is awesome. And speaking of the chicks themselves, they actually look fine, especially Chihaya. Tsukiki, that's the artist, actually did a fine job showing his style, but it cannot compete with the big dogs like Urishihara or Yuki. But it certainly is above average.